I have been a big Budgie fan and I have been using Ubuntu Budgie as part of my daily driver. I have tried also other Linux distribution as well as different desktop environments, but for me Budgie is still one of the best. I wanted to try out and install Manjaro Budgie, but I usually before I install it on my actual machine, I would be testing it out on a virtual box or in virtual environment. So what I'll be showing you in this video is just how to install and somehow do some minor tweaks and customizations on Manjaro Budgie. So this is already your Manjaro Budgie welcome screen. So we have here launch installer. So let's try to launch this time the installer. So Manjaro Budgie actually is a Manjaro Linux with a Budgie desktop environment. So we have here welcome to Manjaro Linux 21.2.6 Konos installer. So this is its default installer for Manjaro Budgie. So we'll be asked also for the language. Okay, so I to click next. So just try to select it at default. Next. Okay, so for the region, let's try to select Asia, or by default again, in my case, since I'm in Asia and in Manila, so it will be selected here. Okay, now let's try to click next also. I won't be doing any other selection here. So for keyboard model, I'm going to leave it as is, also for Filipino and default. Okay, we'll click next. Okay, so we have here erase this. Since there's already a pre-installed operating system before I showed you guys, so what I'll be doing is just going to click erase disk. Okay, so at least what we can do is it will actually erase all of the previous installation that I have done on this particular virtual machine. Okay, so we have here erase disk, then click next. Okay, so we will be asked for our name. Okay, virtual box. You specify the password. Okay, now we have here a couple of options. We have here login automatically without asking for the password and use the same password for the administrator account. So let's try to click this one since we wanted to have the same password as the administrator account. Okay, then click next. Okay, so for the Office Suite, we have three options. So if we don't want to install the Office Suite, we can just select no Office Suite. We can also use LibreOffice or FreeOffice. Now in my case, since I'm not a big fan of LibreOffice, I'll just be selecting FreeOffice. Then click next. Okay, so everything is set already. Now let's just try to click install. Okay, so we have here the Manjaro installer is about to make changes on to your disk. In order to install Manjaro 21.2.6, and we will be also asked, we will also be prompted, but we will no longer be able to undo these changes. So it's okay. So let's try to select install now. Okay, then what you can basically do is just try to wait for the installer to be finished. Now that we're done with the installation, what we can do is we can restart now. So I've already ticked this part, restart now. Then decide to click done. Now that we're done logging into our Manjaro Budgie, okay, let's try to do some customizations. So for the documentation, if you wanted to read the documentation, you can actually read it here, as well as the support and the different projects. If you wanted to get involved, then maybe you can click this one and get involved with the project. So for the applications, if you wanted to do some post-installation about the applications that you want, you can click this button. This is actually found in your Manjaro Hello. Okay, so we have here the different applications by category. So let's say, for example, by default, Firefox is installed, but if you wanted to install other browsers, maybe you can select it also here, as well as the email, Office Suite. So a while ago, I selected Free Office since I'm not a big fan of LibreOffice. Okay. What else? So these are all the different applications that we can install into our Manjaro Budgie. So we no longer need to go through the terminal if you wanted to install new applications. What you can basically do is you can just try to click hello, then try to look for the different basic applications that you wanted to install. Okay, so where can you find the hello, Manjaro Hello? So you can click the um, start menu, very much similar to Windows. Okay, application launcher. That's what it's called actually in Linux. Then you can select, you can search for it here. Hello. Okay, so we have here Manjaro Hello. Okay, so let me just try to close this part as well as this one. I actually opened it up a while ago. So I'm going to change also the resolution. Okay, let's try to look for it first. How to change the resolution of our Manjaro Budgie, if it's possible, without tinkering with the terminal and the configuration settings or configuration file. So we have here Archive Manager, Advanced Network Configuration, Disk, Fonts, okay, System and Tools. Okay, so we have Dconf Editor. Okay, we have here Desktop Settings. Give your desktop. Okay, fonts. If you want to change the fonts. Raven. By the way, where can you find Raven? This is actually called your Raven. So Raven can be found on the right hand side of your desktop. This is where you can find the calendar and also the music if you're playing some music such as maybe Spotify and so on. You can find it there also. Windows, this is for Windows. Okay. So let's say, for example, we wanted to customize it a little bit, maybe change the location of our bottom panel. What you can basically do is you can just right click here, then we have your Budgie Settings. Okay. Which will this one will appear. Okay. We have here bottom panel. Then settings. Okay. Instead of for the position, instead of bottom, maybe you can select top. Okay, we have here on top. Now, for the transparency, we can also select always, so that it will be transparent. If you wanted to change the font size, you can do it here also. Automatically hide, never. Dock mode, okay. So currently, dock mode is disabled, but let's try to enable dock mode. Okay, so as you can see, it became a little bit small. Okay, it's just on the center part of our screen. For Windows, if you wanted to change the buttons, maybe by default actually it's found on the right hand side, but if you wanted to change it to the left hand side, you can just try to select this part. Okay, how to start. Okay, we have here check your create template, Manjaro Hello. Fonts, if you wanted to change the fonts, you also have your desktop. Okay, if you wanted to display the icons, you can just toggle it here, as well as the style. Now, we have here updates. Okay, currently, as you can see, we have 527 updates, but I won't be dealing with the updates. Okay, let's try to look for a way to change the setting of our desktop. Okay, so to look for it here, settings. So you have here settings. Okay, basically you can just search it here, then you have your settings. Now, for settings, you can find it actually network, Bluetooth, background, and so on. We'll also try to change. Let's try to change first our background. Try to select this one. Okay. Then we have here at the bottom. Okay, we have here displays. Now by display, as you can see, it's 800 by 600. Okay, let's try to change it to 1440 by 900. Click to apply. Okay, keep this configuration. Okay, so we're now at 1440 by 900. So let's try to look also for the other applications that is installed. So for accessories, we have the following applications. For games, we also have Steam, graphics, internet, office, okay, other programming. Then we have sound and video, system tools, of course. You also have utilities. Just a few words before I end this particular video. Okay, so if you wanted to change, by the way, the terminal, maybe you can select here, terminal. Okay. Okay. Try to change here the preference also. Maybe you can make it transparent. Colors, scrolling, command, text. Okay, general, shortcuts, Manjaro. Okay, it seems that there's no way for us to change it to transparent if we're just going to use the built-in functions of our Manjaro. Okay, command, put it and so on. Okay, but a few words before I actually end this video. So in my case, I am very much considering shifting to Manjaro Budgie. Okay, so this is my second choice of operating system, Manjaro Budgie, over any other Linux distribution out there. So from Ubuntu Budgie, I know where I'm getting at if I were to select to Manjaro Budgie. Okay, so I want you guys to try it out. Try to see for yourself if you're comfortable in using it. Then please don't forget to post comments about what you think Manjaro Budgie when it comes to your daily work operating system. Okay, so